is palpable. You can already feel it here at Busch.
It is gone! What a bat flip! She is long gone! Holy cow! What a night! The ninth inning magic strikes again! That's gonna do it in a big way! Holy Schwarber! Swing drive! History! They never give up!
They are full of fight. You got to see it again this evening.
Well, how great was that? Brad Thompson with the exclamation point for our pregame tease. It's a hot night for baseball and the postseason race heating up. Brad, our first look at the Philadelphia Phillies, our first of 6 here in St. Louis. Jim Hayes, the Cardinals have won 5 of 7. They got a big lift from a kid in Game 3 yesterday.
J.J. Weatherholt had a 2-run double in the 8th yesterday to win it for the Cardinals. He's got 13 game-winning RBIs this season, second most in the National League, and Ali Marmol says J.J. is special.
He just knows who he is. As a player, as a person, he's got a real identity to everything he does. And the way he goes about it, there's a calmness to it where he just knows he's good. He's going to work at it. He's going to give you his best shot. And if it doesn't work, he moves on to the next. But he doesn't get caught up in a whole lot, which is good to see, especially out of a young player when they have that type of demeanor that's hard to come across.
Best defensive second baseman in baseball, 4.6 WAR. Chip, not too shabby for a 23-year-old.
Yeah, nothing can rattle J.J. Weatherholt or you in the Cardinals dugout before Game 1. It's Hunter Dobbins' turn to pitch. Brad, he pitched very well against the Yankees on the road, just didn't get any run support.
No, he was great last time out. 6th start of the season here for Hunter Dobbins, and it looks to be his runway the rest of the season after the May trade. To take a look at the pitch arsenal, 4-seam, everything plays off of that. Sliders, big swing and miss pitch against the right-hander, sweeper, sinker, that split finger. That's going to be effective against some of the lefties there for Dobbins as well. And look, it's going to be a tough challenge against Don Mattingly's team. They've got some slug in this order.
And 7 left-handers. The Menards starting lineup starts with a boom. Kyle Schwarber, 2 homers yesterday. Newly acquired Luis Ariz is their cleanup man. We'll get our first look at Derek Hill and Justin Crawford. Edmundo Sosa, the former Cardinal, Garrett Stubbs behind the plate. Interesting for the Phillies, they are resting Alec Bohm, Trey Turner, and JT Realmuto in tonight's game. They're available to pinch hit, but 7 left-handed batters facing Dobbins, whose better numbers have come against opposing southpaw hitters.
That's a great point. Look, lefties coming in hitting .217 against Dobbins. Right-handers .282. And I guess, look, small sample size at this point, but it's come down to execution. And Dobbins has been able to execute well against the lefties. We saw that in a very left-handed, heavy-hitting Yankee lineup.
So Kyle Schwarber starting at first base tonight. Usually the designated hitter. Dobbins pumps over a quick strike. Schwarber, 35 homers, 68 RBIs, 2 homers in their lone series victory against Toronto yesterday. No swing. 1 ball, 1 strike. The Phillies have lost 11 of their last 18 games. They pulled to within 2 games of the Braves in the East. More and more likely with each passing day for Philadelphia, they will make the playoffs as a wild card, but they do have 7 games left with Atlanta in September, so still anything possible for Philadelphia.
Yeah, they got a chance to make it interesting, and look, with this lineup, even with some of the struggles, I know their bullpen has had some issues. They get a chance to be dangerous, especially with a 3-headed monster in rotation for them as well. So we will see, but hopefully the Cardinals can take advantage here. They're playing really good baseball as of late also. Their big guys have been slugging.
Schwarber, 76 walks to go along with those 35 homers, and now a full count. It's a hot night. Working economically will be a critical factor as Bryson Stott waits on deck. Schwarber picked up his 500th Philadelphia RBI on Sunday. The payoff is inside, and Schwarber takes ball 4. He didn't chase, and the Phillies leadoff man is aboard in front of Stott, who's batting second. Look at the Cardinals defense. Mason Wynn, your lone Gold Glover. Cesar Prieto joins him on the left side of the infield. Weatherholt and Burleson at second and first. Jimmy Crooks behind the plate. Walker Church and Jose Fermin right to left in the St. Louis outfield. Bryson Stott, 8 homers, 53 driven in. This guy's put together a very impressive run. Last 11 games, Brad, 14 walks, 0 strikeouts.
Yeah, it's pretty good right there. He's actually gone 33 plate appearances without a strikeout. I mean, that is quite a run. So, look, you like seeing this. You like seeing a count like this here for Dobbins. He's in command here, but this guy's been tough to K. Can't get him on the ground, though.
0-1 pitch is upstairs. Stott's hitting to 8 double plays. One here from Dobbins would be nice. Schwarber, a very small lead at first. JJ plays Stott to pull, and that is fouled away. What's your Toyota key to victory tonight?
Well, we kind of hit on this a little bit in our open. The Toyota key to the game is command the counts for Dobbins. He's been able to do that. He's been able to get ahead of the first 2 batters, but you saw the slugging percentage goes through the roof when it comes to hitters counts. First in baseball are the Phillies when they're in hitters counts, slugging over 700. Conversely, in pitchers counts, only slugging 265, right? So the big key is just going to be getting ahead, staying in command. Doesn't mean you can lay stuff in there. Can't just groove a heater down the middle and say, let's be ahead. But Dusty Blake, Hunter Dobbins, you know they got a good game plan coming into this one.
And the Phillies have had an excellent offensive game plan since late July. I'll explain it after the 2-2 pitch. And a swing and a miss. How about that? Stott is finally struck out. Hunter Dobbins takes care of that remarkable run for the Phillies infielder. 1 on and 1 man out.
Slider here from Dobbins. This one backdoor really backs up. You get that slider spin. He recognized that, but it never came back to him.
Bryce Harper walked 4 times yesterday. He's reached base in 14 straight games. Haven't even talked about all the moves the Phillies made at the deadline and the shuffle that has made for their club defensively. Bryce Harper, a big part of that. He's the designated hitter this evening, but he's moved from first base back to the outfield. We'll see how that plays out in the series.
Well, it was something that, Harper was vocal saying that he believed that they needed some help, and he was more than willing to be able to jump right back into that outfield mix. So we'll see what that ends up looking like. It's Schwarber over at first base today.
A ball and a strike. And for the Phillies, since July 25th, they have the highest walk rate and the lowest strikeout rate in the big leagues, and that's why commanding counts for Harper and these Phillies will be so important.
Yeah, big difference here. Hopefully something flips on this one. You see the average, though, jumping nearly 100 points in this 2-1 count. It's a game of early adjustments, hopefully for Dobbins. One of the adjustments you'd like to see against his very left-handed hitting lineup is just staying on top of that split and get him at the bottom of the zone. He's only thrown about 3 of them, but they've been riding up arm side. That can be dangerous if you leave it over the plate.
That one drops in, full count.
3-1 backdoor sweeper. That'll play. It's also one of those pitches that ends up being away. Might have an emergency hack here. Can get him on the ground. Maybe get yourself a double play ball.
Not to be. Another walk, 2 in the inning, and that sets it up for Luis Arraez. He was the Phillies' big acquisition. Many thought they were going to get an outfielder and a right-handed bat. Well, they didn't. They got an infielder who hits left-handed but really knows how to hit.
Yeah, but it's really a good fit to this lineup. This is a lineup that overall has tons of power, can swing and miss a ton. Well, this is a contact guy. This is a over 300 hitter seemingly every single year. Does not strike out. It's a nice complement to a very power-driven lineup.
Arraez, a lifetime .317 hitter. And he's got the first chance to hit with men in scoring position. That was a problem for the Phillies against Toronto. They walked 24 times in that series but left 36 on base. Ooh. They've got 2 walks here in the first inning. No score. Downstairs, 2-0. That one in for a strike. Arise fighting for the top of the batting average lead in the major leagues. Yordan Alvarez on his way to a Triple Crown season for Houston, perhaps. And that just missed. No challenge. He's nibbling all around the plate. And behind another Phillies hitter. Arise, a four-time All-Star. Phillies threatening to score first in the first. And pulled foul. They have scored first 72 times this year. The Phillies have won 50 of those games. It's already 22 pitches, 2 aboard, and a full count to a man that seldom strikes out, Luis Arise. Phillies are not swinging. They are making Dobbins come to them. Runners lead 3-2. And shot to first. Race back to the bag. And Harper just back in time. Throw back to second. And Schwarber's safe. Arise with a sinking line drive. Burley intercepted that for a big second out.
Chip, this might be close over here at first base. Alec Burleson snags it, but might have been able to get the hand here of Bryce Harper on the way back. Let's check it out. Caught him leaning. Did he get that left oven mitt?
Calling the field is safe at first base. St. Louis.
Oh,
He
yes.
sure did. He tagged him right on the Philly fanatic oven mitt. So this should be a double play that will get the Cardinals out of the first inning. St. Louis is going to challenge. A terrific diving stop for Burleson on a hard hit ball to first.
Little extra effort right there by Burley. Man, this could end up saving your bacon big time. Couple of things. One, obviously you're in some early danger. And two, pitch count's getting up pretty high there for Dobbins in the first inning. Right now at 23 pitches. Hopefully this could erase it. Checking it out here on the big screen here at Busch Stadium. Cardinal fans getting a chance to see it. Don Mattingly, feel like he knows which direction this is going. We'll see how these two feel.
Home crowd says Harper's out. We'll await word from New York. We saw some base running blunders by the Rockies in the 3-game series, won by the Cardinals. Harper didn't.
You're taking your secondary right there.
Yeah.
I mean, what are you going to do? That's just a good play by Burley to be able to catch it with the sinking liner and then dive and get him on that sliding glove. Take a look at it again. Extra effort. Definitely has it.
So the call on the field was safe. There has to be clear and convincing evidence to overturn. That looked pretty clear with our rose-colored Cardinals glasses on. So still no word for New York.
The runner was tagged on the hand before he reached first base.
So Harper is doubled off. Excellent work by Alec Burleson. 2 walks and a twin killing. Phillies don't score in the first. Here come the Cardinals.
Project at Menards.
Here come the Cardinals. They had a good series offensively against Colorado. J.J. Weatherholt's big hit in the 8th inning helped us win that series against the Colorado club. The Menards starting lineup features Walker hitting 4th, Fermin 7th, Crooks 8th, Cesar Prieto 9th against one of the Phillies' prize pitching prospects, Andrew Painter, who has had his struggles as a big league hurler.
Well, he definitely has. Through his first 14 games, he had really struggled. Actually got sent down to the minors. Take a look at the pitch arsenal for Painter. The 4-seam fastball, big velo, slider, sweeper, split, sinker, curve, and the occasional changeup for the 23-year-old. 6'7", 215, first-round pick back in 2021. And look, this guy, first year of pro ball, tore it up, like led the Phillies minor leaguers in innings, in strikeouts, missed all of 2024 though with Tommy John. Big time stuff for sure. One thing that happened to him early in his first 14 start, Chip, this fastball was getting mashed, and it seemed like whenever he threw it, they were all over it. Must have made some tweaks the last couple of outings though since being recalled. 4-seam hasn't been hit as hard, and he's had the success over the last 2. He's got a sub-3 ERA. They're hoping a sign of things to come. That's a pretty good changeup here fading away to the left-handed Weatherholt. But this kid, man, since ever getting drafted, he's been the talk of the town when it comes to pitching.
13th overall pick in the draft in 2021 out of Pompano Beach, Florida. He's a Tommy John veteran. And gets a rollover foul by JJ. And first base. Last start against the Nationals, he had to leave after 63 pitches with hamstring tightness. He was pitching well in that game, give up just 1 run in 4 innings, got a lot of swing and miss. We'll see if that holds true tonight. And it does. Weatherholt over the top of a sweeper. First strikeout for Painter. 1 up and 1 man down. Here's Ivan Herrera. He's starting to heat up Bradley. That's a good sign. Let's check out our Bet365 betting odds for the Cardinals DH tonight.
Well, hopefully he gets over that and then some. You mentioned earlier, man, when your big boppers are going, when these guys are hitting, you're going to win a lot of games. Well, he's been hitting, been aggressive. That 98 just off the plate, foul back. But he's taking his walks also. So we're starting to see that combination that we've seen the last couple of years for Herrera. Chip is patience, but then when something's in the zone, let it rip and start slugging a bit.
1 ball, 1 strike for Herrera. 13 homers, 50 ribbies for him. He carries a 5-game hit streak into play tonight. So far, Painter's breaking stuff is very crisp.
That's going to be one of the bigger keys for the right-handers. Can you lay off of that? The slider away, that's going to be his big swing and miss pitch.
Throw it again, high in the air toward left. Marsh going back, middle of the track, reaches for the wall, and hauls that in. That's a homer in Philly, but a long fly out in St. Louis, and a sigh of relief for Painter. 2 outs. Marsh in left, Justin Crawford in center. Derek Hill, acquired from the White Sox, is in right. Kyle Schwarber starting at first base. Arise at second. Edmundo Sosa at short. Bryson Stott at third. Garrett Stubbs is behind the plate. How the Phillies handle things defensively in this series, and frankly, Brad, the rest of the way will be a fascinating tale. It's been a rough patch for them since the All-Star break.
Yeah, 14 errors in 22 games, Chip, since the break. And we know this. Look, come postseason time, pitching is a big thing. And Don Mattingly's squad, they have got some aces that they can roll out there for sure. But defensively, you better be tight. That one play that's made or not made, that is going to be the difference. That's time for the 3rd most errors in the NL since the All-Star break, the 4th worst fielding percentage over that span. So something that, you know, Donnie Baseball would love to see his team tighten up.
Christopher Sanchez. Boy, the Phillies are digging what he's doing this year.
Well, pretty good pick for the All-Star team, that's for sure. Having a monster year.
He and Wheeler back-to-back on Tuesday night and Wednesday afternoon. That's something I think Painter wants to change. That's the perception of the Phillies' chances after their big 3. When Luzardo, Sanchez, and Wheeler pitch, the Phillies feel very, very good about what they can do. When they don't, it's been a struggle in the back of their rotation.
Well, and they know the upside of this young man, right? And you also know that every guy's going to go through his struggles.
Burley takes ball 4 and a check swing. Jordan Walker's coming up. Beg your pardon?
No, but when you have somebody that has the upside like Painter has, especially after missing a season with Tommy John, last year was his really first full year back from that. You got to be patient with him. And they were early. They sent him back to tweak some things, but they truly believe that he is going to be a big piece, not at the back end of this rotation, but hopefully at the front of it at some point.
Jordan Walker having a good homestand, as he didn't get that. Last time he saw anybody from Philadelphia, he had the day of his life, winning the home run derby over Kyle Schwarber at Citizens Bank Park. 9-game hit streak for the Cardinals right fielder, who's getting his first look at Painter, as are all the Cardinals tonight. 1 ball, 1 strike.
Well, Painter, you'd have to imagine here with Jordan Walker is going to try to stay away. Going to stay away with that slider, that sweeper combo. If he comes in, it'll likely be off the plate end.
Chop toward third. 1 ball, 2 strikes. There they are, 1-2 in the Home Run Derby Championship. Walker homered with his last 6 swings.
How cool was that? That was such an impressive performance. And you talk about, I understand that it's a thing, it's for the fans, but that's real pressure in a situation like that. And this young man handled it perfectly. And any home run derby is going to be pressure in that place against that guy. The boos raining down every time he hit a home run.
And he had the perfect response.
Sure did.
And he's right. They don't boo nobodies. And Walker is definitely now a somebody in Major League Baseball with a remarkable 2026 season. 23 homers for him. And a 2-2. Swing and a miss. Good changeup. So Painter unfurls his entire arsenal. He's got a couple of strikeouts in the first inning, and we head to the second. No score. And time for our Liberty Mutual Insurance field coverage. The difference in ages on average of these two teams is stark.
Cardinals have so many young players, 19 of them, 27 are younger. The Phillies only 3 of such, so totally different styles here. Don Mattingly, Ollie Marmol have different challenges to work with. There are certainly challenges of having an older roster, especially a star-driven roster, of kind of how to deal with some of those personalities in spots. But you also have the back of the baseball card to lean on for Ollie and his coaching staff. A lot of teaching to be done along the way, but a lot of youthful exuberance as well.
Brandon Marsh with a base hit leads off the Philadelphia second. He's been struggling of late, but a good start for his series as again we check in with Jim Hayes.
Yeah, I asked Jimmy Crooks what it's like to catch Hunter Dobbins. He said it's his fastball that stands out. He said it comes in hot and it's unpredictable. He said it moves in different directions based on how he feels that day, and that makes it tough for hitters to track, guys. Jimmy said if he locates it, it's going to be a really good night for him.
It's interesting, too, of it moving different ways. He's actually thrown a couple of four-seamers, Chip, that out of the hand. I'm like, man, was that a slider? And then you look, it's 95. Had some real movement and run. And that is something for a catcher and obviously for the pitcher to realize early, okay, which direction's this going? Is he spotting it? It kind of changes how you utilize that pitch, that fastball of Dobbins. It's running up there 95, 97 miles an hour. It can be a very effective weapon. That's effective right there. Good four-seam running in on the hands. But it's just got to be used correctly to set up the other pitches. Because when you look at some of the numbers against the fastball for Dobbins, they haven't been great. The opposition's hitting over 370 against his four-seam. So it's about locating it, commanding the counts, and then using everything else off of it.
Runner at first for Derek Hill. The Phillies got him from the White Sox. Hill, a former #1 pick with the Tigers. The Phillies, the 7th major league organization for which he has played. So there is one of those right-handed bats Philadelphia was looking for. Dusty Blake not happy with that late timeout call. And Derek Hill digs in with a 1-ball, 1-strike count. Hill had the walk-off hit for the Phillies yesterday as they salvaged Game 3 of their series with the Blue Jays. Little tapper. All we'll get is 1, and we won't get any. Dobbins airmails that one past first. Streaking around third is Marsh. He is going to score on a throwing error. A 3-base error. Marsh scores, and the Phillies get a break. It's 1-0.
Man, make a pitch, get a tapper back to you. I think that Dobbins, couple of things. One was trying to be very quick with his throw, realizing that it was taking a while, but then just slowed the arm down and tried to lob it over there. And obviously that didn't work. We see this all the time. Guys trying to throw as hard as they can to the plate, and then that finesse throw to first ends up being dangerous, ends up really hurting him here.
Infield comes in for Justin Crawford. His dad, Carl Crawford, a terrific major league player for so many years, most of them with the Tampa Bay Rays. J.P. Crawford in Seattle is his cousin. It's a great baseball family. Now to play foul, no balls, 2 strikes. Crawford, a first-round pick by the Phillies. He's one of their youngsters, 17th overall in the draft. That was in 2022. No balls, 2 strikes. Marshall leadoff single. Hill a chopper to the mound that turned into a 3-base error and the first run of the game. He went around. Crooks will look the runner back. A strong throw to first. And Dobbins has his first strikeout. So Crawford can't advance Hill. 1 away for Edmundo Sosa, the former Cardinal. Infield's going to stay in for the Cardinals against Sosa. Spots like this, I guess, Brad, it's about damage control. You break your own heart with a bad throw. I would imagine that's tough to put behind you.
No, it is, but it's about poise, and that is actually something that Dobbins has shown a lot of. I'm sure he's very frustrated with that, but nobody's going to feel bad for you, and nobody's going to come save you. You got to go out there and you got to make that next pitch. Able to do that certainly against Crawford with a strikeout. Now can he go ahead and leave Derek Hill over there at third base?
Lined into left. It's 2-0. So 2 hits in the inning, 2 runs for the Phillies, and Garrett Stubbs is next. He's the 9th place hitter, batting 132.
Well, this swing of the bat right here from Sosa looked like he was sitting breaking ball. He got a sweeper, not a bad pitch, down, away, under the zone. Chevy pitch track, stayed back though and hammered this thing into left to drive in the game's second run.
No homers, 2 RBIs for Stubbs, who's starting for JT Realmuto tonight. Phillies ambushed us for 2 runs in the second. Sosa doesn't run much. Hands on knees at first. Pitch. That's into the camera well. Everybody all right? That baby was coming to eat. That one under Stubbs' hands. Strike 2.
Pretty good command with that fastball right there. That was 93, top of the zone, in. Not much damage you're going to be able to do with that, especially when you have to look the other way too for that splitter. If he could land one of those, that'd be nice. The curveball's been his most effective pitch early though.
Negative.
Swing and a miss. Dobbins needed that. So the first 9 batters, Brad, he threw strike 1 to 4 of them.
Well, I like the adjustment that he made right here going to that curveball. We had just talked about, Chip, the curveball has been his most effective pitch, the one he's been able to get on top and land. Oftentimes you'd see him throw his split there. The release point's been off on that pitch. It's been running off arm side in a spot. You compete with one of your better pitches. He did it.
Schwarber walked and was stranded in the Phillies' first. '56 homers for Schwarber last year. He's sitting on 35 this season. Phillies are making Dobbins work. Already 40 pitches. And he's 4 of 10 in strike 1 counts. With a green light, Schwarber here. They've got the lead. I wouldn't throw him a cookie. The pitch.
It's 93 down there to try to climb back into the count. You know, Schwarber was looking for anything up in the zone to be able to put a charge into.
And that's going to be challenged by Crooks. Schwarber's shedding the protective gear. Let's see who's right. ABS powered by T-Mobile, and the pitch is just barely a ball. I mean, just barely. Less than 1/10 of an inch.
I just saw Crooks behind the plate do the exact same thing I just did on the monitor, looking under the picture, trying to see it. He was doing that on the Jumbotron here at Busch Stadium. Quite simply as close as that's going to get. Understand the thought of using a challenge there, trying to swing a little momentum.
3 walks already for the Phillies. They lead 2-0. Bryson Stott takes a strike. His long run without strike 3 ended in his first trip to the plate an inning ago. Stott has moved from second to third for the Phillies. And they are not giving an inch. They are not chasing, although he did his first time up as a group. They've been extremely patient.
Oh, you're right. Look, they're seeing a lot of pitches. They're making sure if it's not in their go zone, they're letting it go. They're not afraid to see pitches, even if they're in the zone at different areas that they're not looking. Been very disciplined so far.
So 47 pitches seen by the Phillies. They've swung at 16 of them. So Stott takes time. He steps out on a muggy night. 1 ball, 2 strikes. He's the 7th batter in the second. Dobbins, long pause. Here it is. And knuckled back our way. And a fine catch down below.
You wear a Mason Wynn shirt, jersey. You better have good hands. Showing them off right there.
Look how happy he is. There's no crying in baseball, kid. Give him a contract. Another 1-2 outside. Two runs, 2 hits, a costly throwing error for Dobbins in the second. He is piling up the pitches. That's lifted to left, and Fermin is there. He's got it, and that'll retire the side. A self-inflicted wound cost the Cardinals 1 run, and a hit by Edmundo Sosa makes it 2-0 in the middle of the second. Score big on authentic gear at MLBshop.com. From official jerseys and memorabilia to hats and hoodies, we've got the season covered. Visit MLBshop.com/Cardinals, the official source for your Cardinals gear. There's a baseball legend. Darryl Strawberry is in town at Busch Stadium tonight. Ricky Horton tells a great story about him in the early days of his career, watching Darryl Strawberry hit and Dwight Gooden pitch on the backfields in Tampa Bay, St. Pete to be more precise. At Huggins Stengel Field, which the Rays used as their outdoor training facility during COVID, there's a major league ready spring stadium. As Nathan Church leads off for the Cardinals, beyond the right field fence, it's like 395, 400 feet away, there's a big giant lake. And Darryl Strawberry was hitting home runs into the middle of that lake, Ricky said.
As a kid, basically.
Yeah, teenager. And then Ricky said, you know, I'm getting started too, and I see 18-year-old Dwight Gooden throwing 96 with all of his stuff, and he thought, how in the heck am I going to make it to the show? But Ricky did, and so did Darryl Strawberry.
Yeah, unbelievable career for Darryl Strawberry, the Rookie of the Year, World Series champ, over 300 career homers.
Andrew Painter has been staked to a 2-run lead. Church, Wynn, and Fermin coming up in the Cardinals' second. Church with 9 homers. The pitch. That is lifted out of play. And a chase for that souvenir. Another youngster comes away with a baseball. Cardinals have 1 base runner. That was a Burleson first inning walk. Church trying to change that here in the second. And he shoots it to short. Sosa hardly had to move. Church retired on the ground. 1 up, 1 down for Mason Wynn. Mason riding a 3-game hit streak. He's got 4 hits in that stretch. He's putting the bat on the ball consistently and using all fields. Using the middle of the field certainly, but right center a good approach. And look at how the Phillies play him. They swing way around to pull on the infield. And Schwarber way off the line as the Phillies' first baseman. Something else about Andrew Painter. This is a big kid. He's 6 feet 7 inches tall. I would imagine as a hitter, when you see that mid-90s stuff for the first time, it's almost like he's handing the ball to his catcher.
Yeah, he can reach out for sure. And what I've actually liked about him, and maybe this is something that's cleaned up a little bit as of late, his mechanics appear to be very repeatable. There's not a ton of moving parts for him. 2-0 sweeper, thought he landed it. Stubbs is going to challenge this.
ABS powered by T-Mobile, the challenge for the Phillies, and they are right. So from 3-0, it's a 2-ball 1-strike count for the Cardinal shortstop.
To your point too, Chip, with him getting that extension, that fastball's in the upper 90s anyhow. Anything on the outer half, you better recognize quickly if it's that slider, because he's going to get a lot of people to commit to that. Then it won't be in the zone.
Lifted to the right side. Schwarber drifts out. And second, Arise is there, and he makes the play. And that's the second out. Arise has played a lot of first base in his big league career, but he credits Ron Washington and his time with the Giants for really helping him get really good at second base. That was not an easy play, and he made it.
He's turned himself into an actually, by the numbers, a plus defender. Remember, I mean, he was a defensive liability for quite some time.
But not there. 2 quick outs for Jose Fermin. Down and away. 1 ball, no strikes. Cardinals have won 5 of 7. They've got to come back to win tonight. Phillies got 2 in the second. This is what Fermin has done a lot of, Brad. Seeing a lot of pitches. And he's been real productive. 5 homers, 26 driven in. This one corked to center. Crawford is there, and he'll take care of that. 3 up, 3 down in the St. Louis second. Phillies jump in front early in game 1. From the Fields Finance, the Stiefel patch on every Cardinals jersey represents more than a logo. It's a symbol of strength, strategy, and success. From investment banking to wealth management, Stiefel helps clients pursue their financial goals. I'll tell you what a goal for Hunter Dobbins is. How about an economical third? He has piled up a ton of pitches.
He certainly has. 23 in the first inning, 28 in the second. That first inning was Fortunate enough to get that line drive. Nice double play turn by Alec Burleson, who dove and caught the glove there of Bryce Harper trying to get back to first base.
And it's Harper leading off, and ball 2. That's your key to the game. The commanding counts. Get ahead of these Phillies hitters. They are not swinging. They're not chasing. They've already drawn 3 walks. And as you said, the Phillies slugging percentage about 450 points higher when the batters are ahead in the count.
Yeah, and look, obviously everybody's numbers are going to be higher, but theirs are just astronomically different. And that's going to be the key. Like the problem is with a lineup like the Phillies, who do have power throughout, even with some of the guys that are given the day off, you know you got to be fine with your pitches, but you can't be too fine where you find yourself in a hole, right? You got to find that kind of happy place. Splitter up top, happy place, gets him to swing and miss through it. Dobbins still trying to figure out exactly where the release is on that pitch. This is not where he ends up wanting to put this one above the zone, but still effective nonetheless there. Letter high to Bryce Harper.
So 3 walks, 3 strikeouts for Dobbins. And here's Arise, who hit that bullet to Burley that turned into a very needed double play in the first inning. Arise, the #1 active lifetime batting average leader at .317 coming into play. That's for the career. He's at .319 this year. 4-time All-Star. And it's really a shame in so many ways that with the change in how teams approach offenses, that a man with his skill set is almost an afterthought. Doesn't hit for a ton of power, but he gets his hits and he gets on base.
Well, it's really an interesting thing, again, because people look and oftentimes you look at averages of players. That's not what teams are paying for. Teams are paying for slug. Now, maybe it's an old school statement here. Give me this guy all day. Give me the guy that's going to get a hit 3 out of 10 times, going to get on base a lot, going to draw his walks, will not strike out, put pressure on the defense. But guys getting paid that slug, that hit home runs. So balance, I think balance ends up being key.
Look at the scoreboard here at Busch in right center. They have Arise's hit chart. It looks like a case of chicken pox.
Oh, I thought it was a paintball incident. That is using the field. That's how you hit 300. You don't have a tendency. Your defense has to play you straight up essentially all the time. And he'll single you to death.
So him hitting behind Harper provides Bryce some protection. 2 balls, 2 strikes. And that across the shoe tops. Right now, I think you're right. Dobbins has good stuff. He just doesn't know where the ball's going.
Well, and that's the maddening thing pitching wise. You see that sinker just gets pulled there arm side. He wants to run that thing the other direction. It's just timing, right? And it looks like just a small amount of just need to be more synced up.
In the air toward Fermin and left to the warning track. He's got that. And Arise retired for the second time. 2 up, 2 men down. That's got to be maddening when you're on the mound, because ball sails in a different direction. You overcorrect and then you leave one down the middle and you get whacked.
Yeah, I'd say it's maddening, especially when you feel good, right? When the ball's coming out of your hand well, but it's just not the way that you want it to. And we saw him make a couple of adjustments in the first inning where he was missing arm side with the fastball on the split. Then he went to the curveball. Oftentimes you'll do that and he goes to it there, because it's a pitch that you really have to stay on top of to execute it. So it gets you to extend and reach out, and then you try to carry that on to the rest of your arsenal. We'll see if he's able to do that here.
Brandon Marsh singled, scored on the 3-base error. So Marsh 5 for his last 26 coming into this series. Off to a good start here in St. Louis. This guy was the toast of the town until July 1st. He was hitting in the 330s. Since July 1st, counting tonight, Marsh has 21 hits in 34 games. So they need him to heat up. As that one bounced foul. So 15 pitches this inning for Dobbins after 51 in the first 2 frames. He chased that curveball, and Hunter has his 4th strikeout. 2 of them in the second, 2 in the third. He's got a 1-2-3 inning, and the Cardinals offense goes to work down just 2.
It's Toyota's now.
St. Louis Cardinals baseball is presented by your Mid-America Chevy dealers and by BJC Healthcare. You deserve extraordinary care. Chip and Brad with you from Busch Stadium. The Phillies have jumped in front 2-0. Andrew Painter has not yet given up a hit. He struck out 2, walked 1 on a hot night in downtown St. Louis.
Kid's got the right idea. One of those frozen strawberry lemonades. Nice treat this evening. Hopefully he can be treated by some Cardinal offense here in the 3rd inning. Painter's looked pretty good, Chip. Those adjustments that he made, again, he got sent down after 14 starts, had an ERA north of 7, but certainly looks to have cleaned some things up. That's a good miss right there at 97.
This kid was on his way to the Florida Gators before the Phillies drafted him and signed him in 2021. And he'll handle a comebacker. Crooks will be retired quickly. 1 man down. Cesar Prieto is next. Got to get this kid a hit. Prieto 0 for 23 this year. We've talked to Ali about it. He loves the approach at the plate. He just feels like this young man's pressing. He hits so well at AAA. He's kind of in that get 2 hits with every swing mode right now.
You go back and look, that's all he's done throughout the minor leagues is be able to hit. And then when you get here, you have some struggles. That's kind of human nature. Like you really want to fix it with every swing. Can't do that. Then you end up finding yourself in the hole. You're trying to be aggressive, though, on a fastball. That one just up above the zone. Still have to be selective. Trust in your zone and know what you can handle.
And when you're in a long offer, what kind of count do you usually see?
Yes, those pitchers counts. 0-1, 0-2 now, 2 pitches in. Both pitches were up above the zone, too, that were fouled back. We'll see if Painter wants to go back up there again with the high octane stuff or just bury something.
0-2 count. It's rolled toward first. Pitcher covers. 2 out. On deck, we've got 2 new limited edition Cardinals pins. Take your pick when you buy 8 or more gallons of gas with the Fuel Forward app. Your offer ends September 27th. Some exclusions apply. Back to the top. J.J. Weatherholt struck out his first time. First time through the order, the Cardinals have gotten the ball out of the infield twice. Let's see if J.J. can change that.
Well, not going to be easy to get that one out of the infield. Doesn't get the call going his way, but that's 95 down and in on the corner. He's shown some good life on his changeup away, too. Tried to go that way, yanked it. But the ball's got some real action coming out of the fingers of Painter. Take a look at what the opposition has done through the order. Second time around is actually when they've been able to get to him, hitting over 300. Then he's been able to make some adjustments third time around.
Painter 1-8, but looks a lot better than that so far tonight. 2-0. Now ball 3. You'd really like to get Painter in trouble and force Don Mattingly to use his bullpen in game 1 of this series. They have been really working their relief corps hard. As that one cracked high in the air to left, Marsh drifting back. He's reaching for the fence again. The Cardinals have 2 wall scrapers tonight, but nothing to show for it. 3 up, 3 down. Painter sent down 7 straight He and the Phillies lead by 2. On August 28th, it's Country Music Night at the ballpark. With your theme ticket, fans take home a Country Music Night Cardinals t-shirt, plus a pregame concert featuring live music. Get your tickets at cardinals.com/theme. Derek Hill leads off, the Phillies' 4th. His tapper to the mound turned into an error and the game's first run. Had to put the bird hat on.
Well, I did see there was a little competition out there, Chip. I saw a man with a Philly Fanatic hat on.
How'd they let him in?
You obviously saw that. He was keeping score, dialed in, taking himself seriously in that hat. You had enough of it.
Yep, sick of it.
Not up in here. There he is.
There he is.
Look at the size of that hat on him. That's an okay looking lid.
How about the lady to the left? She's got Philly Fanatic earrings working.
I mean, dynamic duo right there.
There we go.
That's more like it.
Now that was the original bird hat. I've got the
2.0.
Yeah, I've got the 2.0.
Yeah, that's pretty good. I will say, I'm a Fanatic fan.
Yes.
I mean, I like what he does. Obviously, Fred Bird, he's near and dear to my heart, and he's number 1. But the Fanatic, a solid number 2.
Did you ever have any run-ins as a player with a Fanatic?
Yeah.
You did?
Yeah.
Uh-oh. Nothing bad?
I can't repeat it.
Uh-oh.
We'll say the Philly Fanatic does talk.
Strike 3 called. I can only imagine. Dobbins has back-to-back strikeouts in 3 of the last 4. Oh, do tell.
Well, the short story, Chevy pitch track, first of all, 93 running back. Going out to the bullpen in Philly. And I remember the rookies at the time had to wear the backpack, right? Like it was whatever the backpack was, you know. And the Philly Fanatic, and at the time, our rookie was Jason Mott, who was wearing it. And we'll just say the Philly Fanatic had some very colorful things to say about Jason and his backpack that he put out there, but then was doing all the Philly Fanatic stuff, so it wasn't like you could punch him, because then you look like the jerk. Everybody looked at each other like, what? What did he just say? Really? All right. Well, but he's good at what he does.
He
gets you all riled up.
Hides it well.
Yeah.
Crawford took a shot, 2 balls and a strike.
Fred Bird would never.
No.
He might give you every once in a while a little. That's about it. That's it. This was more than an. That's for sure.
That sounds a lot like my wallet, by the way. That sound. 2 balls and a strike.
That's more like.
2-3. Prieto, a nice stop and a strong throw. Don't be mean. 2 outs. That was a good play.
It was a very good play. Look, defensive versatility is something that this team has been able to show off, especially over at third base. Seen a lot of characters over that direction. Hot shot. This thing, man, you never know off of the grass where it's going to play. So when it stays down, he stays with it, off the glove, maybe a little bit of leg, but has the poise to stick with it.
So 2 quick outs. Dobbins appears to be settling in. He set down 6 straight. See if he can get Sosa. An RBI single for Edmundo. And he just got hit on the elbow. So the inning continues. Dobbins has a hit batsman to go along with 3 walks tonight. And Garrett Stubbs, who struck out, is next.
Now, this is just one of those nights where you just want to see, can you fight? Can you figure out a way to make an adjustment? A lot of arm side misses for Dobbins. Relatively limiting the damage in this ball game, making some pitches when he need to. Did have that self-inflicted wound of the comebacker back to him, a 3-base error. But this is what you want to see. You want to see the battle. Look, pitch count sitting at 81 right now in the 4th inning. Not ideal. How do you fight through it?
Lifted toward left. That should be handled by Fermin. It is. And that retires the side. Dobbins keeping it close. He's down 2-0 with Ivan Herrera. Alec Burleson and Jordan Walker ready for their second trip to the plate against the Phillies right-hander Andrew Painter.
We go to the bottom of the fourth, Cards down 2. Wasn't too long ago that Ivan Herrera refined his approach at the plate to use his legs more. Since then, he's been on a hitting binge. Lots of hits, nearly half for extra bases. Ivan told me he always tries to be the same guy. He said, I'm getting barrels now, but even when I wasn't, I tried to stay positive and take the best at bat I could. But guys, he says using his legs turn things around for him.
Well, it's worked out well for him, Jim. Thanks for that great report. Herrera, 10 hits in his last 24 at-bats, and it's not just singles, it's damage. We could use some of that here. The Cardinals hitless through 3, but facing Painter now for the second time. We'll see if the game plan adjustments bear fruit here.
Well, you like those numbers. 435 and OPS over 1,100 for him over the last 5. And pitch selection ends up being a whole lot of that. It'll give you that change up on the outside corner, 1-0. Not going to be able to do any damage on that. He was looking something arm side, middle in that he could put a charge into.
Ivan got his 300th big league hit yesterday. One of his 4 hits. And as we said, when your top 4 guys are doing their thing, your offense looks really good. See if they can get going here in the 4th. Late swing off the knuckles, set out of play, a ball and 2 strikes. Hopefully one advantage for the Cardinals hitters this second time through. They've seen just about everything Painter has as a group. Ought not to be any surprises with the arsenal. 2-2. Last 2 games, as Brad pointed out earlier, this guy has pitched like the #1 top of the rotation phenom they were hoping Painter would be. Shot towards second. Arise gave ground and a perfect strike. That was well played on a sharply hit ground ball. 1 out. Fourth ground out. And here's Burleson. He's the lone Cardinals base runner. Might need some of the fans down below us to take a look at the scoreboard and point out that Painter hasn't given up a hit yet.
I would agree. Look, Cardinal fans generally have a feel for stuff like this. We'll see if somebody's able to step up, help this team out. Chip, I don't know if you heard, I think in the section right below us, but somebody did in fact hear that. Yep. Nope. They knew what was going on. Game situation. No hitter here by Painter. Maybe Burley can do something about it here.
Well, as we know, when the fans get involved like that, 60% of the time it works every time.
It's a great call, and the math checks out.
1-1. Laced to the left out of play. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Highlight of the night for Burley, that great stab on a line drive that turned into a double play when he tagged out Bryce Harper on the hand. That prevented what could have been a big inning in the first. It's not to be for Burleson. Strikeout number 3 for Painter. 2 up, 2 down. And now this guy is dealing. He set down 9 in a row. And he got Jordan Walker on strikes in the first inning. In that series against Colorado, Jordan ended his long homerless streak He wasn't trying to hit one, but he hit one a long way. And since then, Brad, when he's made contact, it's been triple digits off the bat.
That tends to be the case with Jordan Walker. It's, very rarely do you see him have those cheap hits. Everything is barreled up for him, especially when he's dialed in, making those good swing selections. We've seen him offered a couple of pitches off the plate away early in this one against Painter. Takes one there. That's a pitcher's pitch. I don't mind him taking that one either. Let's battle now with 2 strikes. But you see the numbers there. 68 baseballs hit over 107. Second in the big leagues for Jordan Walker.
One ball, 2 strikes in the dirt. Cardinals have 6 games with the Phillies. Philly and Arizona tied for the second wild card. Redbirds 3.5 games out of a playoff spot. A swing and a miss. 4 strikeouts for Painter. He's set down 10 straight. To the 5th we go. Phillies lead by 2. Join us on Friday, August 28th. Cardinals play the Pirates. That night, fans 21 and up take home a City Connect quarter zip pullover. That's courtesy of Budweiser. Get your tickets now at cardinals.com/promotions. 5th inning, top of the order. It's Kyle Schwarber. He's walked twice. He's got 78 walks on the season. My, how the game has changed. 173 strikeouts for Schwarber. Don't care about that because he puts you on red alert with the very first pitch of the game.
Well, you've seen it over the years with Schwarber, right? Not your quote-unquote prototypical leadoff man, but a guy that can do what he does. 35 home runs. He's driven in 68. Another couple of walks today. He's 3rd in baseball in walks. Pretty good skill set to have.
Most of his time spent as a DH. He's playing first base tonight. He's played there a couple of times this year for the Phillies. And he drives that one to right on a 1-2 count. So Schwarber around first. He's going to try for 2 as the ball bobbled in the corner. And Schwarber leads off the 5th inning and is at second base.
Well, Dobbins goes to the curveball. Chevy pitch track. It ends up catching more of the plate than he wanted to. Lays down the line. Looked like Schwarber was going to be happy with his single right here, but it popped up. Bobbled there by Jordan. Enabled him to get to second base.
That was scored a double. Schwarber will take that, his 14th 2-bagger of the year. Now Bryson Stott. And after our great Cardinals TV replay, Jeff Durbin, our official scorer, wisely changed that scoring decision to a single and E9. That's been rare. We haven't seen many outfield miscues for the Cardinals this year.
Yeah, no, just a weird one right there on the track, right? Bumped up or popped up, hit him right in the heel of the glove. And another spot right now where Dobbins, who it seems like he's got 88 pitches at this point, but it seems like all of them have been under pressure, is going to have to make some more big pitches. Been able to keep this a tight ball game. At some point, offense is going to have to be able to help him out. Painters look really good on the other side. But runs have been really difficult to come by with Dobbins on the mound for some reason. He's only got 1 run of support in his last 3 starts combined.
2 solo homers sank him at Yankee Stadium. A throwing error and an RBI single has him down 2-0 tonight. Line into right field. Schwarber had to hold up. And the Phillies have 1st and 3rd with nobody out. And here comes Bryce Harper. Harper's walked and struck out. 12 homers away from 400, 14 hits away from 1,000 hits as a member of the Phillies. Dobbins could use a double play. He could use a breather too. The Redbirds will meet on the mound here, and that has the Cardinals bullpen scurrying around in right center. So back-to-back hits in the Phillies' fifth. They lead 2-0. Let's see how it works out after a quick word from BJC Healthcare. Caleb Ferguson, a left-hander, is up for the Cardinals. The lefties will be on point in this series. As we said, the Phillies have 7 left-handed hitters in tonight's lineup. Bryce Harper's had a great career. 13-year contract after the Nationals. He's now a Philly. No trade clause, no opt-outs for Bryce Harper, who takes a strike. He made a commitment once he became a Philly, wants to stay a Philly, and all that's left for him there is to take him to the World Series and win it.
Well, look, they've certainly had the team over the last couple of years. You believe they had the firepower. That's just the volatility of the postseason. You just never know what you're going to get into. Same thing for them this year. I believe that they have a team that could go on a run and win. We'll see.
You buy that windows being open or shut type stuff. I mean, as we said, there is a difference between an old club and a veteran club. And I think that is, as I said earlier, what they do in the playoffs. If you win, you're a veteran team. If you don't, well, all of a sudden the doubters and the talk radio people say, well, they're starting to get too old. Maybe it's time to rearrange the furniture.
Well, look, I think that roster churn is always an important thing, and balance is always an important thing. But I think you bring up a really good point. It's all about a narrative, and it's all about a framework. If the numbers are there to back it up for a team that is a little bit older, then they're a veteran team, right? Yeah. If the numbers fall off, then they end up getting old. That's just kind of part of it. But this is a group that knows how to play meaningful baseball, and as we talked about earlier, they've got the pitching to do it in the postseason.
They've been to the playoffs 4 straight years. They're in line to make it a 5th season in a row. No balls, 2 strikes, and that is shot towards short. Mason Wynn will surrender the run. The Cardinals get the double play. Harper is doubled up for the 2nd time. No RBI for him, but Schwarber scores to extend the lead. It's 3-0. So the Phillies cash in the E9. We had an E1 that cost us a run, and we talk all the time about the margins for the Cardinals. They are thin against a battle-tested team like the Phillies. Even with some of their star players getting a night off, you give good teams extra outs, they're going to make your life tough.
Yeah, look, both the errors come around to score. It very easily could be a 0-0 ball game at this point. Offensively, the Cardinals haven't been able to scratch anything out yet. Well, the goal again for Dobbins here, as you'd have to imagine, is working his last inning, is keep it right here, give your offense an opportunity to come back late in this ball game. And you mentioned it earlier, bullpen is taxed right now for Don Mattingly. There's a lot of arms that he is probably not able to go to. You keep this a tight game, somebody else is going to have to step up for him.
Gordon Graceffo is playing catch 2 for the Cardinals as a rise behind 0-2 and lifted toward left. Fermin's been busy. He'll camp out, and that will retire the side. 1 run, 2 hits, a costly error. Halfway home in game 1, the Phillies lead by 3.
This is Zach.
Brad, you mentioned fastball command for Painter was a problem early in the season. It's not been a problem tonight. Let's check it out. Our StatCast 3D powered by Google Cloud.
Well, he's utilized it all over the place, and that's the thing right now for the Cardinals. There's not one zone that you can end up in. Not a lot of mistakes over the heart of the plate. That has been a big difference for him. And then, once he's setting those up, he's using his slider and his changeup effectively. That one, the changeup there to get the pop up to left. That's going to be the first out of the inning on 1 pitch. 60 now for Painter, who's been very economical.
He's allowed 1 base runner, that a Burleson first inning walk. He's set down 11 Cardinals since. So whatever he was asked and tasked with fixing at Lehigh Valley. It is translating at the big leagues in his last 3 starts. And that's exactly what the Phillies could use, another guy behind their big 3, 2 of whom we will see in the last 2 of this series in St. Louis. Mason Wynn popped out his first time up. 1 ball, no strikes. Dave Dombrowski is the vice president of baseball operations and general manager of the Phillies. He's with the team here in St. Louis. They have an interesting road trip after the Cardinals series wraps up. They'll spend the night and then fly into Dyersville, Iowa for the Field of Dreams game against the Twins. And after the Field of Dreams game, they will then move up to Minneapolis and finish the series with the playoff hopeful Twins. Don Mattingly, a nice job taking over after the Phillies started 9-19. Phillies are 18 games over 500 since Rob Thompson was relieved of his duties, and Mason Wynn's got some bumblebees in the right hand.
Yeah, that one right off the end of the bat. Those hands are stinging.
Well, seeing that, this would be a perfect time for a man named Painter to throw a brush back pitch.
Oh, yeah, that one definitely caught you, and you're right. You could run something in if you wanted to. He's going to stay away. Missed with the sweeper.
So a full count. Wynn trying to become the second Cardinals base runner. Look, we're still very much alive in the game, but no offense yet, and still none as Mason chased that. 5 strikeouts, 12 in a row set down. Well, that is late action, isn't it?
Well, and it just tunnels really well off of that fastball. I mean, that does look like the heat coming out of the hands. It's 10-mile-an-hour difference, and it is a late breaker.
Jose Fermin digs in. He flied out to center. Fermin, as you know, has played all 7 of the infield outfield positions. He has not caught nor pitched yet. He told me he would like to take a turn on the mound. Of course, with the Cardinals up 8 or 10 runs.
I can see that.
Yeah.
I see him as a sidearm specialist.
Really?
A little drop down for you. You see him do it from the infield. I feel like he would sling it that direction. Now, maybe change arm angles on you. Wouldn't be there all the time. It'd give you a little over the top, and then a little zip from down under.
Wait, what was that sound? You're full of sound effects tonight.
That's kind of my thing now.
Like it. 2 balls and a strike. Now, ball 3.
Yeah, always entertaining when you're in a position with the lead that you can have your position player pitch. I know something that haven't had to do a lot of this year is that 4-seamer pumped in there. Bring it back to 3-2.
So here's the payoff. And whacked out of play. Interesting, too, that Painter's gotten so much mileage out of his fastball in an era where pitchers throw fastballs, 4-seam fastballs, that is, less and less with each passing season. He has had a good one. He's been economical. 5 strikeouts. He's set down 12 in order. And that snaps the streak. Fermin takes ball 4. And the Phillies going to challenge this. So Stubbs burns a challenge. That one not close. So the Phillies have 1 left, as do the Cardinals on the ABS ball strike system. And now Jimmy Crooks hits. A Painter mistake could make it a 1-run game. Crooks tapped back to the mound and is 0 for 1. He has seen a steady diet of those changeups.
It's a pitch, too, that's not where Painter wants to put it. He's not trying to go belt high with the changeup, but you're not looking up there. Even if you're sitting changeup, you're looking away down. Now goes backdoor with the sweeper. A couple of pitches that are elevated, but highly effective. Now he can go a few directions. He can run a fastball up at the top of the zone or just try to bury one of those changeups or sliders under it.
Painter having the game of his life tonight. He leads 3-0. He has yet to give up a hit. Luis Gastelum is up in the Cardinals bullpen. Graceffo and Ferguson have taken a seat. So you figure Dobbins, close to 100 pitches, is done tonight. So he changes the eye level. What are you throwing here?
Well, you went up with the fastball, right? So you're thinking about going down. Changeup has been highly effective for him down and away. I also think a back foot slider could work in a situation like this. It all just comes down to, can Crooksy recognize it? You see him get that little split change grip in his glove. Changeup stayed up, fouled off close pitch. You see him trying to bury his slider now. He's left a couple of mistakes up. He's done a pretty good job of keeping the breaking ball down.
Again, the 1-2 pitch.
Changeup, sweeper, then four seams and a couple of changeups. Most of the pitches have been away here from Crooks as he tried to run that slider down and in.
They did, and it almost hit him. 2 balls, 2 strikes. They play Crooks as a dead pull hitter, both infield and outfield, understandably so. He hit a 2-run homer into the second deck in New York. We'd love one here in St. Louis to the pull side. And now the 2-2. Hammered. It's foul. Past Schwarber. So Crooks putting up a good fight here. He'll see at least 9 pitches. Pitch number 9. Let's get another base runner on and then have Prieto come up and pop one.
Be a good time to get his first hit of 2026.
Crowd quiet. Painter ready. The pitch. It's not to be. A changeup. That one perfectly located for strikeout number 6. Painter's retired 13 of 14. He's not allowed a hit.
The telecast is presented by authority of the St. Louis Cardinals and may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form, and the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of the St. Louis Cardinals.
Another pretty warm night in St. Louis. Andrew Painter having a special game. He's got 3 runs to play with. He hasn't given up a hit. The Cardinals, a couple of errors, Brad, that led to 2 unearned runs for Hunter Dobbins, who departs after 5 and turns things over to Luis Gastelum.
Well, Dobbins battled in one where he didn't have his best command, still able to keep it close. Obviously, that throwing error on his part hurt a little bit. Gastelum looking to get things going in the right direction for him again. It's been 4 outings in a row in which he's given up a run, trying to stop that streak and get it rolling. We know that his changeup has been the bread and butter, and like we talked about with a lot of guys, got to be able to locate that fastball, really be able to set up that changeup of Gastelum.
That's where I was going to lead you for Gastelum. He's learning how to keep hitters off that changeup.
Well, and hitters are far more selective, right? They're not flailing at everything they've got. Able to land that first changeup in there for a strike to Marsh, who is going to make him prove that he can do it, prove that he's going to be in the zone. Guys are not going to expand as much. That's a really good location there. Gets called on 95 away. And now it comes to execution again. If you want to go to that changeup, which I think you should, under the zone, right? You don't have to try to make it nastier and make the location better.
There it was. And as you said in your Toyota Key, command counts. Gastelum did just that. 3 pitches. And Marsh struck out for the second time.
Wow, that was a really good one, right? The whole sequence. You go change up for strike 1, fastball strike 2, and then turn 1 over. This starts at the middle of the plate, but down. So he sees it and just runs away. That was a very good sequence there for the rookie.
Derek Hill next. He's reached on an error, scored, and struck out. One ball, no strikes for Hill, who's 30 years young, 23rd overall pick in the draft by the Tigers in 2014.
I also don't hate missing in with the fastball. It could open some things up for you. Good sweeper on the corner. So you go in off the plate by about 1.5 feet and then dot a sweeper.
One pitch. Another sweeper. Gastelum pitching in his 13th big league game tonight. Do you remember your first 13 appearances and how quickly that must have gone by?
I don't remember what I had for lunch today, Chip. So the first 13, no. But it does go fast, right? And you do learn every single time. And it does feel like in your rookie season, I don't care if you're on a team that's in first place or a team that's battling for a wild card or a team that's out of it. Like every game feels like there's pressure. So it might seem like it's a non-pressure situation. Not for a rookie who's trying to show himself and trying to prove himself and trying to stay in the big leagues. So how do you deal with that pressure? How do you slow yourself down? I think there have been some games where Gastelum gets going a little bit too fast. His body gets out in front of him, and it doesn't allow him to paint like that one there. Back-to-back strikeouts, this time on the heater, 95 on the corner. So as we talked about, Chip, need to be able to utilize the fastball to set up the rest of his arsenal. Well, he used his arsenal to set up 95 on the corner.
So Justin Crawford with 2 outs. He is 0 for 2. He's trying to extend his hitting streak to 5 games. Won't happen with that. And Gastelum, an impressive 1, 2, 3, 6th inning. He needed that. He buys the Redbirds offense some time. 9, 1, and 2 coming up. It's the Phillies by 3. Join us at Busch Stadium Saturday, August 29th, when the Cardinals play the Pirates. That day, fans take home a stylish Cardinals purse. That's courtesy of Edward Jones. Get your tickets at cardinals.com/promotion. Can you believe this, Brad? After this series, we only have 2 homestands left.
No. What? What you doing, fella? West. We'll go west. That's dedication right there. I like the old school A's jersey, too. I'm digging that.
Cesar Prieto leads off and rolls over. Schwarber's got it. Pitcher covers. Well, somebody's got to break the spell. Maybe it's J.J. Weatherholt who can do it. He's our Bet365 betting odds update. No Cardinal hits, 2 Cardinals base runners through 5 1/3 innings. As we check in with Jim Hayes.
I asked JJ about his ability to stay calm in big situations. He told me, I just love being in them. It's fun. He said, growing up, you dream about hitting with the game on the line. Over the years, I've had a number of opportunities to do that. I just enjoy it. And he stays calm, kind of like I do when the manager's throwing sunflower seeds at me when I'm on live TV.
That was remarkable concentration, Jim. I don't know how you did it.
Well, I went to a regional cable journalism dojo where they threw wrenches at you. So
really?
I trained, yeah.
I mean, that was almost Matrix-like as you were dodging the sunflower seeds before first pitch tonight.
Yeah, what I appreciated was just the steadfastness. Like, he wasn't going to let it break his stride, wasn't going to, and again, I mean, Cat's the pro's pro. No reference to it, no change in his cadence, just taking it like a champ. And those were super salty ones, too, because all over the polo afterwards. Had a little dust there, didn't care.
2 balls and a strike. Yeah, that performance inspired us all tonight, Jim, so we thank you for that. As Philly leads 3-0.
Just very fortunate that in baseball there's not a messier snack that people eat. Works out pretty good.
That one is taken high, ball 4. So those are the only blemishes for Painter. He walks Weatherholt at the top of the order. He's the 3rd Cardinals base runner. So here we go. Herrera, Burleson, Walker. Your big bats coming up in a close game with a lot of baseball left. Weatherholt's been walking a lot. He's now walked in 10 of his last 12 games. Herrera is 0 for 2. Stott guards the line at 3rd and inside. Yeah, if they threw Dippin' Dots at Jim, or they just threw a helmet full of nachos at Jim, that would not be ideal.
Yeah, that would be an issue. I think the Dippin' Dots, if they're still frozen, would bounce off pretty well. That would be okay. I'd still like to see it, but the nachos would be a problem.
Hammer! There's the first hit. That's headed for the corner. Run, J.J. run. He's on his way to 3rd. He will stop there. The Cardinals have 2nd and 3rd. The spell is broken, and the tying run comes to the plate.
Needed that big time. The Cardinals had to wait until the 91st pitch from Painter to get a knock. Chevy pitch track slider down, away, stays down on it. Some more of that slug that we've been seeing from Herrera as of late. He doubles up 2nd and 3rd, and again, this game has felt very lopsided. Haven't been able to get anything going offensively, but the Cardinals pitching did enough to keep this game tight.
10 of his last 21 hits for Herrera have gone for extra bases. And so now here's a spot where you need a run or 2 at least. And then you start the Phillies to think about their very heavily taxed bullpen. And Brad, I'm sure you've been in spots like this. Painter has been in complete command all night. First bit of trouble with this middle of the order coming up. What's his mindset?
Well, and the pitch count is getting up too, right? So the thought here is you better breathe and you still have to execute. Ronhell out in the bullpen. The right-hander got some options. You could try to pitch around the left-handed Burleson, be able to load him up. I wouldn't think that he has 2 more batters in there. I don't think you want to get him over that century mark. But for Painter right now, who has been smooth sailing, hasn't seen the traffic on, how do you stay back and still execute some pitches? We've seen him in this inning. Some of his misses have been elevated. That's something that Alec Burleson could take advantage of.
16 homers against right-handed pitching for Burley. And he leads the major leagues with hits with runners in scoring position. And this, Brad's what he did yesterday.
Well, you will take that. Something elevated. Thigh high, sent deep into right center. That is a big-time blast. That was number 19 on the season.
Hot shot! That's into center field. 2 runs will score. Burley does it again. We got a 1-run game.
Chip, we showed a graphic earlier of all the fastballs that Andrew Painter had thrown, and very few, if any, were near the middle of the plate. Not this time. Elevated fastball, your BJC Healthcare difference maker, Alec Burleson, ready to pull the trigger. He brings in 2 more. That's 79 and 80 on the season.
And the Cardinals finally accomplish what they'd hoped to do. They get Painter out of the game in the middle innings. There's a lot of baseball left. The Phillies bullpen, as good as it's been, has been taxed heavily in the last week or so. And we've got a 1-run game with Jordan Walker coming up. He represents the go-ahead run. It's getting loud at Busch Stadium. It's a 1-run game. Well, the Cardinals have made a game of it in game 1 of this very important series, Brad, and intriguing matchups for your Budweiser, what's on tap the rest of the way?
Oh, great test. Again, not going to get any easier against Christopher Sanchez, the All-Star, and Zach Wheeler, the All-Star snub, putting together a monster season yet again, one of the best in baseball. So that is going to be a challenge, and the challenge for the Cardinals here in the bottom of the 6th inning is come back against your Chevy call to the bullpen. That's going to be Alan Ronhell, his 7th game of the season. Last couple of starts in the big leagues came back in July, recently recalled over the weekend from Lehigh Valley.
He had a 5.40 ERA in his first 3 appearances of the season. Excuse me, his first 3 stints with the Phillies this year. And he might have to be the bulk guy tonight because so many of their relief pitchers, Brad, have pitched 3 of 5, 4 of 5, 4 of 6 days. It might be Painter and Ronhell, and take your chances. Burleson got a huge jump, and Walker pulled the triple foul. And Burley heads back to first. A ball and 2 strikes. Walker has struck out twice. He's got a 9-game hitting streak in play in game 1. Ronhell out of Hermosillo, Mexico. Started his career with the Braves as an international free agent in 2014. Then to the Angels and now the Phillies. They give Walker the right side of the infield. The 1-2. Popped up back toward the green seats. Who's catching that? Fan from Bourbon, Missouri, picked that one up. The 1-2. Swing and a miss. Walker over anxious. He is out number 2. He's got the hat trick in strikeouts tonight. And it's up to Nathan Church.
Well, Ronhell comes in, executes a good slider down and away to get Walker. Again, that's what he really worked through this year, is trying to lay off that pitch. Couldn't do it there.
Nathan Church is 0 for 2, batting 5th tonight. "37 RBIs for Church, hits in 8 of his last 9 games. This guy Ronhell really falls to the first base side of the mound as he delivers. It's amazing that his arm can catch up with his body fading toward the first base dugout as much as it does.
Creates deception, right? I mean, especially that changeup. Body's going one way, ball's going the other direction.
And now Church has to protect a ball and 2 strikes. Cardinals made a game of it. Weatherholt walked. Herrera doubled into the left field corner, and then Alec Burleson with a 2-run scoring single. It makes it a 1-run game. Cardinals trying to catch the Phillies in the wild card. 5 more games head to head in 2026. Respect the speed of Burleson too.
It's not just the blazing speed, it's also the instincts over there. He's not afraid to take a chance.
Now another 1-2 pitch. It's laced into right field. That's going to drop for a hit. Church got his arms extended and the line keeps moving. Mason Wynn's coming up. Tying run is in scoring position.
Well, Ronhell here with 2 strikes, trying to turn over that changeup. He's gone to that pitch a lot here early. This time it's off the plate, but it's up. It's elevated just enough for Church to get the hands going, get the barrel to it. Reaches out and slaps it out there and keeps it rolling.
Well, Mason Wynn, since June 18th, hitting .390 with runners in scoring position. If ever there was a time for Mason to split a gap, this would be it. Outfield shades him way around toward right. He's got the right side of the infield to aim for if he chooses. 2 in, 2 on, 2 out. The Cardinals have sent 7 to the plate here in the 6th inning. One count. Another one floats in. A good curveball.
Slow curve again. Rangel, everything is coming at you with the body, and then that one just drops in out of nowhere. It's battle time now. Again, wide open right side here for Mason Wynn with 2 strikes.
Two runs, 3 hits, a walk in the inning. He chased up and out of the zone, and that will retire the side. But Alec Burleson and Ivan Herrera break the spell of Andrew Painter. First the double, the first Cardinal hit. Then Burley brought J.J. and Ivan home to make it a 1-run game. To the 7th in St. Louis. Phillies lead 3-2.
Say you get a.
Alec Burleson, a career-high 8 RBI season, and a long way to go in 2026 and a long way to go in this game. Gastelum back out there for Edmundo Sosa, who has singled home a run and has been hit by a pitch. Gastelum, a 1-2-3 6th inning, struck out 2. Caleb Ferguson is loosening again in the St. Louis bullpen. We'll see how Ollie manages the 7th inning. 8-9-1 coming up for the Phillies. So after Sosa, again, the way the Phillies lineup is stacked up, it is all left-handed for a while. That's why Ferguson's getting ready. So you get Sosa, and that's a good way to do it. I think he's setting up his changeup a lot more efficiently and effectively tonight.
Yeah, I think you're absolutely right. 93-mile-an-hour heater for the first pitch. He ends up getting ahead. Then, after another 4-seam fastball that he missed with, able to throw that changeup in the strike zone too. Like, that's a big key, is being able to use it not only for chase under the zone, but in the strike zone effectively. There you go now. A little extra gas on that. 96 up. Now you set up that changeup down again. Or his breaking ball has looked pretty good in this one, too. A sweeper away.
He's thrown that changeup righty-righty a time or two as well. And we've seen how effective that pitch has been for several Cardinals relievers. But to your point, keep it down. If you choose that pitch, 1 ball, 2 strikes. He did. It was down. Sosa over the top. And Gastelum faced 4 batters, struck out 3 of them. And Oliver Marmol is going to go to Caleb Ferguson here with all those lefties coming up. How about Nasty Gasty tonight? The young man had himself quite an evening.
Yeah, what a job. That was a great look at it, too. Turning over that changeup. Nice job by him. Hopefully Ferguson could do more of the same.
Stubbs, Schwarber, Stott, and Harper are scheduled next. Big ovation for Gastelum. Cardinals down a run in the 7th. Join us at Busch Stadium for Asian American Pacific Islander Day, Sunday, August 30th. With your theme ticket, fans take home a Year of the Horse-inspired Cardinals jersey designed by Claire Nipper. Tickets at cardinals.com/theme. Nothing to frown about. Cardinals are down only 1 as Garrett Stubbs digs in. Nice job by Gastelum, his first big league clean appearance. With 3 strikeouts, Caleb Ferguson now answers the Chevy call to the bullpen. Stubbs 0 for 2 in the game. Just 7 combined hits. Cardinals got Ferguson in the waning moments of the trade deadline for international bonus pool money. And that was a much needed acquisition for St. Louis, who for about 2 weeks pitched with one left-hander in the bullpen.
Yeah, and look, it's nice that the Cardinals have some compliments in that bullpen from the right side that can dominate some left-handers, but having another southpaw is, I think, not only important, I think it's necessary to be able to have in a big league bullpen. So the veteran Ferguson trying to step up here, falls behind the 9-hole man Stubbs, though, 3-0.
That one drops in for a strike. Stubbs takes a moment. He's starting in place of JT Realmuto tonight. No Trey Turner, no Alec Bohm. Bet you they'll be in the lineup tomorrow night. 3-1 pitch is just off the plate, and a 1-out walk. Stubbs, the 9th place hitter, I beg your pardon, is aboard in front of Schwarber, who's reached 3 times. That's the 4th walk the Cardinals have issued the Phillies. Hunter Dobbins, 5 innings, 3 runs, only 1 of them earned. He scattered 4 hits. Gastelum, an inning and a third of perfect relief. Now Schwarber, lefty. He doesn't mind the lefty splits. Cranked toward right center field. That ball is going to bounce off the fence. And here comes Stubbs around third. He is going to score. Schwarber has 2 hits, a ringing RBI double, and the Phillies back in front by 2.
Well, after falling behind, had a walk, fell behind Kyle Schwarber. 1-0, poured a sinker in at the top of the zone, and Schwarber was all over it. This ball just crushed into the gap. 110 off the bat here by Kyle.
Yeah, that really hurt. Stubbs was 0 for 12, hitting 9th. You walk in, and then Schwarber knows what to do with that. His 69th RBI brings up Bryson Stott. So it's a 2-run game. Ferguson's yet to retire a batter. And low, ball 1. Stott, another Philly that hits lefties well. He clips him at a .313 batting average. Not ideal. 3 balls, no strikes. Gordon Graceffo very quickly playing catch. The old automatic makes it 3-1. So after the stretch, the lower third's coming up for the Cardinals. As we said, it might be Ron Hell the rest of the way for the Phillies. It's still a manageable game. But another walk to a left-handed batter. So first and second, that sets up a double play. Harper hit into one last time up. He's also struck out and walked.
Could use a little magic right here. You'd love to be able to see Ferguson command a count. And with Harper, make him beat you the other direction, right? So whether it be that slider or the sinker, trying to stay away from him.
Again, your key comes into play even in the late innings. Command counts. Caleb hasn't been able to do that. 1-0 for the Phillies DH, Bryce Harper. In for a strike.
Well, Bryce has had his share of troubles against left-handed pitching. Coming into action today, hitting .200 against the lefties. Only 4 of his 25 homers have come left on left.
I am really impressed with how disciplined the Phillies hitters have been in this game. Kevin Long's an excellent hitting coach. They are grinding out at bats. 2 balls and a strike. 2 on, 1 in. And out of play. Big Cardinals fans. Todd and Jen Kessler. Big Bryce Harper fans. But we're hoping he strikes out. The pitch. Almost did. Still 2-2. Walker is about 5 feet in right. He might be thinking a hard hit ground ball, charge it and try to throw out Schwarber at the plate. Four-2 game.
Harper just fighting off pitches until he can find something that he can drive. 3 foul balls in a row. Love something down and away right here.
Brooks tried to frame it, and it's 3-2. The 3-2 is outside, and Ferguson has walked 3 batters in the inning. So Graceffo has been getting warm, but you've got Arise and Marsh and then Derek Hill, and I think Ollie's going to make the switch here. So Marmol went with the platoon advantage as Ferguson was very wild. 13 balls, 7 strikes out of the 20 pitches he threw tonight. And now a world of trouble on our hands in the top of the 7th. Bases loaded, and the league's leading hitter Luis Arraez coming up in a 2-run game.
Let's go places.
St. Louis Cardinals baseball is presented by your quality Ford dealer. Ford F-Series, America's best-selling trucks for 48 years. By Farmers Insurance. Get a quote at farmers.com. And by Budweiser. This Bud's for you. We zoom in to baseball heaven. Busch Stadium. Phillies are threatening to break it open. They've got a run in the 7th. They lead by 2, and the bases are loaded for Gordon Graceffo, who answers the Chevy call to the bullpen.
Well, Graceffo last couple of times out's been solid, especially last time against the Yankees. Too strong, didn't give up a hit, struck out 2, walked nobody, and has his hands full here certainly against one of the best contact hitters in the league, Arraez.
That's a good way to start. Strike 1. It started with a walk to the 9th place hitter. Then Schwarber doubled home Stubbs. Stott and Harper walked back-to-back against Ferguson, who didn't retire a batter. And now Graceffo is going to try to clean it up. Oh, 2. Arraez has only struck out 23 times this year. 23. In 448 at-bats.
Yeah, I'm just going to go out on a limb and say that's the best in the league.
Pretty good chance.
Pretty good rate. Coming into action today, it was 4.5% of the time. That's pretty good.
Back up the middle, right to Mason. That's going to be a double play. What a job, Graceffo. A missile, but hit right at Mason. And the Cardinals survive the 7th, allowing only 1 run. Still a manageable game. It's 4-2 Phillies.
Gonna duck in the box.
Well, it may sound odd. The Cardinals give up a run, but perhaps get a little momentum, Brad. Bases loaded, 1 out, 1 in. Phillies don't add to their lead. And now with a short bullpen, you get a longer look at Alan Rangel for the Phillies.
It's all about giving yourself a chance, right? For Caleb Ferguson, obviously that's not what he was trying to do. He came in, was trying to get some of the lefties, couldn't do it. Graceffo picked him up, and hopefully the offense now can pick it up here late as Alec Burleson got things going. The 2 runs he drove in with his single. Fermin trying to get it going again.
Jose Fermin leads off the Honda home run inning for the Cardinals. If somebody can go deep tonight in the 7th inning, your Gateway Honda dealers make a $1,000 donation to the Make-A-Wish Foundation. This guy is just slow balling us to death.
A different look, right? Especially after seeing Painter out there, 6'7" righty, upper 90s. This is a different look. The fastball from Rangel is going to be coming in at the low 90s. Then he throws the changeup, bigger curveball, and sweeper.
Still 1 ball, 2 strikes. That one stayed high. What a tantalizing pitch. Fermin took it. It's 2-2.
Well, you're so used to having no time to pull the trigger, and then when something comes in at 73, it feels like you've got all day to make a decision.
Can the Cardinals out-stubborn this guy? Make him throw a lot of pitches. Build a rally down 2 in the 7th. That's a good way to start. Fermin comes back for 2 strikes. Well, it worked for the Phillies. Maybe it'll work here for the Cardinals. Leadoff walk. Crooks is next. He has struggled with the off-speed stuff tonight. You figure he'll see a lot of it here. Can he make an adjustment?
Well, all it takes, right? You know how strong Crooks is. Catch one of those breaking balls or changeups out in front. You can see him hook a double or a homer. Way out in front of that changeup.
Nine o'clock at Busch Stadium. 0-1 the count for Crooks. I'd be shocked if he doesn't throw him another changeup. He did, and it's popped up left side. And Stott in foul ground. 1 on, 1 out. And Prieto is next. Prieto has played Pepper with Schwarber twice with the pitcher covering, so he's 0 for 2. He's 0 for 25. Prieto hit over 300 in Memphis. 1 ball, no strikes. Runner goes, good jump. And Prieto fouled it away. Fermin had it stolen, but he'll have to head back to first. That's happened a couple of times to the Cardinals tonight. Runner goes again. Pitch high. Throw to second is late. So for me, 5 out of 5 in steals. That keeps us out of the double play. And now a hit could make it a 1-run game.
A couple of pretty good jumps in a row right there by Fermin. First one fouled off. This one, I mean, essentially a pitch out. Stubbs had all day to throw. Being able to get that left hand in there, though, before the tag hits him.
2-1 pitch. Hammered toward right. Hill, diving catch. He almost misplayed that, but he recovered in time to rob Prieto. Tough break. 2 outs.
Pretty good play out there by Hill. Prieto saying, man, what do I have to do? Can't even buy a hit. That is 0 for 26 now on the season.
Weatherholt walked against Painter. Scored the first of 2 Cardinals runs. He represents the tying tally. See how carefully they pitch him. Didn't challenge it. 1 strike for the Cardinals leadoff man. JJ had the game-winning RBIs yesterday against Colorado. Lifts that one softly towards center. And Crawford is in and under. The Phillies work around a leadoff walk. Nothing doing in the St. Louis 7th. Don Mattingly and the Phillies clinging to a 2-run lead. We are back in St. Louis. It's the Phillies and the Cardinals. A very important game series at Busch Stadium. 3.5 games separate these clubs in the wild card race. The Cardinals have the tiebreaker advantage over the Padres. They do not have it against the Marlins or Diamondbacks. So getting a leg up on Philadelphia with what's ahead the next 2 days is very important tonight. We've got some time left, but trail 4-2 in the 8th.
Well, definitely going to be interesting in the wild card down the stretch. I think we all realize that. A lot of teams bunched up, going to be fighting it out. And good mix, right? Some veteran teams, some young teams. We'll see who finishes the strongest.
Brandon Marsh leads off. Phillies trying to add to a 4-2 lead. Marsh has a single. He's scored 1. He's struck out twice. Game 119 for the Cardinals. 43 remain. Graceffo got us out of a mess with a double play ball in the Phillies 7th. Story of this one tonight, too many giveaway runs. 2 unearned runs for Hunter Dobbins, and then Ferguson with 3 walks gave up the 4th Phillies tally.
Yeah, 6 walks overall from the pitching staff tonight. And then the couple of errors. That's not really a recipe for success. Cardinals are very fortunate to still be in this game. Though Dobbins was not as sharp as he would like to be. I thought he executed some pitches when he really needed to. One of those errors, unfortunately, was him. Tapper back to him.
And Marsh takes ball 4. Can't manage around that. Let's step aside for a quick word from Jack in the Box.
Don't get FOMO. Get my Philly-style bonus Jack combos and new Philly Munchie Meal.
Welcome to Jack in the Box.
Derek Hill next. Reached on a 3-base error. In the 2-run second for the Phillies, he has struck out twice since. Four runs, 5 hits for the Phillies, 2 runs, 3 hits, 2 errors for the Cardinals. As Brad said, 7 walks in the game. Just 1 has scored to this point. Well, Gordon's gotten ahead of Derek Hill. Let's see if he can finish him. Boston fell again today. Toronto beat them 2-1. Red Sox have dropped 3 in a row. I think Sonny Gray was pitching that game for Boston. Sonny entered play 14-2 on the year.
Yeah, what a year he had. That was obviously a tight ball game, 2-1. Sonny Gray put together a monster year. He went 6, gave up 2.
To center, Church retreats now, flying back to the warning track, and he'll grab that. I think that ball surprised Nathan. Surprised me too. That jumped off the bat. Hill is retired. Marsh back to first with 1 out.
Maybe we just haven't seen a lot of baseballs in play that have been hit well today, but I could not believe that one continued to travel the way that it did. Fortunately, big part of the ballpark for Graceffo. Get that first out here at the 8th.
Crawford 0 for 3. He too has struck out. And a base hit to right. That'll chase Marsh around to third, maybe more. They will stop him. Crawford flies into second with a hustle double. So the leadoff walk leads to more problems. Second and third, 1 out in the 8th inning, and 8 and 9 on the Phillies lineup card coming up.
Well, you knew with the speed of Crawford, a couple of things. One, he was going to be tough to double up, even if he hit it at somebody. And 2, if it gets out to the outfield, especially where he was positioned in right field, he was going to make a move for it.
So 15 doubles for Justin, a 5-game hitting streak now, and the key man Edmundo Sosa, who broke our hearts with a single in the second. Infield in for St. Louis with 1 out. Game 2 tomorrow night. Andre Palante and Christopher Sanchez hook up. First pitch 6:45.
I like the idea to start with a couple of fastballs here to Sosa. That hit you had mentioned in the second inning, it looked like he was sitting breaking ball, stayed back and hammered one to left field.
A little over 26,000, almost 27,000, I beg your pardon, here tonight. Hoping for a Cardinals comeback. We have 6 outs left. We trail 4-2, but the Phillies threatening to make it really tough tonight. They have runners at second and third with 1 out. Gapper left center. That's going to clear him. Sosa off the base of the wall. He's on his way to second, and he'll slide in. That's a backbreaker. Phillies lead it 6-2. Back-to-back doubles and a 3 RBI night for the former Cardinal.
Well, Chip, we had mentioned in his first at-bat, sitting breaking ball. He gets one here. This is not a terrible pitch. It's a slider. It's away. It's on the corner, but he really reaches out, extends, and gets it into the gap here to bring in another couple of runs. That's a backbreaker right there.
So a single run in the 7th, 2 in the 8th for the short-handed pitching Phillies. Garrett Stubbs is next. He tries to bunt and rolls it foul. Stubbs is 0 for his last 12, hitting .132 and walked to start the 7th inning. Phillies could gain a game in the Eastern standings if they win tonight. The Braves are losing at home to the Mets. And as we said, Don Mattingly and the Phillies have a lot of games head-to-head with Atlanta in the weeks ahead. So they're not conceding the East by any stretch of the imagination. Crazier things in that division have happened. A few years ago, the Braves trailed the Mets by 10.5 games in the final 6-7 weeks. and passed the Mets on the last day of the season.
What was that run like?
Crazy. The Braves, first the 0-2 pitch, trailed the Mets by 3 games on the final 3 days of regular season play. The Mets came in, the big bad Mets came to Atlanta with Jacob deGrom, Justin Verlander, and Max Scherzer.
Like your chances there.
Braves won all 3 games and finished with the same record as the Mets. And by winning game 162, won the head-to-head season series and by extension the division.
That was amazing. What a run.
So, look, if Painter pitches like he did tonight the rest of the way for the Phillies, and you know about their offense to go along with their other big 3 starters, they get their bullpen in order. Wouldn't count out this Philly team. They've been through this before. At one point, they were only 2 games behind Atlanta at the end of play on July 7th, but Philadelphia has dropped 15 of 27 since. But maybe about to have a leg up on the Cardinals in this series with their big guns lurking the rest of the way in the series. That's it to third. Prieto gives ground, skips that off the turf. And no return throw to third. Is Sosa good base running. Read that correctly. He's 90 feet away with 2 outs. And Schwarber coming up. And for the Cardinals, Brad, I would assume the lesson from this game tonight would be when you face a team that's battle tested like Philadelphia, you don't have to play a perfect game, but you can't make as many mistakes as they have in game 1 tonight.
Yeah, for sure. And you got to be able to take advantage of any opportunity that you have. Unfortunately, the Cardinals just hadn't had that many. Painter had himself a no-hitter going until the 6th inning. So the free passes, as you mentioned, like to clean up a couple of defensive miscues.
And while most of the walks haven't scored tonight, just 2 of them, it's the churn on the lineup card. You bring guys like Schwarber up a 5th time in the game late. You'd prefer that not to be the case. So 7 walks and 7 hits for Philadelphia. The Cardinals also hit a batter in the game. But we're not dead yet. We're down 4 in the 8th. 2 quick strikes for Schwarber. And foul back. Schwarber's reached base 4 times in the game. 2 walks, 2 hits. His presence at the top of the lineup, kind of like Ronald Acuna Jr. in Atlanta, has really changed the game. Remember the old days, it'd be a speedy guy that would put the ball in play and steal bases, go first to third. Teams like Philadelphia love Schwarber because of the instant offense he can give you in the first inning.
He might not be the first to third guy, but he'll go home to home pretty quickly.
That's it. And he might do it right here. Walker at the wall has just enough room. Schwarber hit that one-handed to the Cardinals bullpen gate. Philly settles for 2 in the 8th. They've got a 4-run lead. Well, one thing you love about this version of the Cardinals, they don't quit. It's a 4-run game. They've got 6 outs left. And the 2, 3, 4 batters are coming up in the home 8th. Phillies make 1 defensive change. That's a new look. Alec Bohm with that new-looking first baseman's mitt has moved from third base in his career to play first after the trade deadline. Rangel back out there for the Phillies, working his 2nd complete inning. Might be his game the rest of the way. Got to make something happen. We haven't been able to time his changeup yet. Herrera just whacked that to the corner. That's a fair ball. Well, here we come. Back-to-back doubles for Herrera tonight. St. Louis not going quietly. Big part of the order coming up in a 4-run game.
Been waiting for that slug out of Ivan Herrera, and boy, has it come as of late. Racking up extra base hits now. That's 11 of them for his last 22 hits. Like seeing that. You mentioned hadn't been able to time up the changeup. Timed up the fastball, though. Just kept it fair.
Burley drove home the 2 Cardinals runs in the 6th. 80 RBIs for him. That's a new career high. Herrera 6 doubles this month. Stands at second with nobody out. That doubles total the most in the major leagues. A shot toward right. That's going to get down. That's going to score a run. It's 6-3. Hill has all kinds of trouble in the corner, and the Cardinals come roaring right back. 6-3 game.
Well, all of a sudden, they've got Rangel timed up. It was Herrera on the fastball this time. Burley stays back on a changeup that's up in the zone. They trade places with back-to-back doubles. Keep it rolling.
So 81 RBIs for Burleson, who was 1 for 11 coming into today's play. He's 2 for 3 with 3 ribbies tonight. And the Phillies very short-handed in their bullpen. As we said, it may have to be Rangel the rest of the way. He's got to get 6 more outs potentially in what's now a 3-run game. And boy, what discipline that takes for a manager. We've had Ollie go through this a time or two as well. You really have to protect your bullpen sometimes, and the last guy standing sometimes is literally the last guy standing in relief.
Well, that's where you hope you're able to lean on the other side of your team, lean on the offense. Now the Phillies have been able to play six runs so far in this ball game. We'll see if Don Mattingly is able to stay away from his guys. Bullpen is stirring, though. Nobody throwing, obviously, but the guys are moving around, stretching out there in the Phillies pen.
Jordan Walker 0 for 3. He struck out 3 times tonight. All 3 strikeouts swimming. Or swinging, I should say. That's not exactly a swimmingly good performance yet.
I'm not a strong swimmer, Chip.
No?
Nope, not my thing.
We have not seen as many of these swings from Walker in the first 3.5 months as we've seen tonight.
Yeah, been a few of them today, just expanding that zone. You know this, though. It only takes one.
There it is, a base hit on an 0-2 pitch. Burley will be stopped. Crawford got to it quickly. So how about Jordan? A flailing swing and miss for strike 2. Cracks the next pitch right up the middle, and the Cardinals have 3 straight hits, and the tying run comes to the plate.
Well, Rangel was trying to elevate up above the zone. He gets it a little bit above the zone, but not exactly where he needed it. 93 coming in, 109 leaving the bat. You mentioned this earlier, Jordan Walker, everything that he's hitting hard. The Cardinals keep it rolling here.
So that extends Jordan's hit streak to 10 in a row. Nathan Church is your batter. Church, Wynn, and Fermin coming up. How about Jordan Walker this season, Brad? 4 separate hitting streaks of 10 games or more.
It's just you run out of words to talk about this season, the way that he's turned things around. Just so happy for him, and obviously it's been pivotal for this Cardinals team.
Church pops it up. One out. Mason Wynn is next. Mason 0 for 3. He's trying to extend his hitting streak to 4 games. A fly ball gets you another run. You'd like something a little bigger than that here. Keep the line moving. Double, single, pop out. One away in the 8th inning. It's a 6-3 game. Maybe Mason can get ahead in the count and take his shot to left field. They give him the right side of the infield. He was late. Strike one. Thinking about a homer here. Mason's last July 3rd against the Cubs. I hope he's thinking about a base hit to right.
That's what I was just thinking myself. That's the last thing that you want to have in your mind is that 3-run shot. That 3-run shot would be a product of a good swing and a mistake pitch potentially. Ron Hell getting the call up and away. Pitch that appeared to be off the plate.
Well, he's got to protect now. 0-2. You'd love one more chance to get the big boys up in the 9th inning. Need a couple of more batters to reach here in the 8th. And Mason off the pitcher and ricochets into right. One run is in. Walker on his way to third. Win to second. Ball gets away. Walker can't advance. Walker is anchored at third. But Mason win with a rocket off the pitcher's body. The ball bounces into right field to score Burleson. And St. Louis now second and third, one out in a 2-run game.
Well, how about that again? Another 0-2 hit curveball. Left up, smoked back up the middle, and right off the leg. The hustle double right here. Little pressure on there. Jordan Walker didn't see the ball kick off. No reason to press it anyhow, potentially with one out.
So another hit means 2 runs in a tie game. Fermin is your batter. Boy, moments like that. When Harry Carey was doing the Cardinals in 1964 would say something like, "The good Lord wants the Cardinals to win this game." Can we take advantage in the 8th? Rolled foul. 1 ball, 1 strike. They're walking around in the Phillies bullpen, but nobody is standing on the mound.
Well, as much as they've been worked, you know that a lot of the arms out there doing the stretch, but saying, please don't call, please.
Swing and a base hit to center. Walker a late break. Mason to third. He's going to be held up. Fermin with an RBI hit. It's 6-5.
Chip, they keep on chipping away. Breaking ball right here. Curveball into Fermin. Good read at second. This one into shallow center, though. Not going to want to press it.
So Jimmy Crooks. The changeup has perplexed him all night. Let's see if he can sit on one and pound one. Fly ball would tie the game. And sure enough, he gets fastball. Cardinals tonight 5 for 9 with runners in scoring position. Perfect world, you get this thing tied at the least and force Don Mattingly into a real tough choice. But the changeup makes it 0-2 to the key man in the inning, Jimmy Crooks.
Well, with the struggles right now with the changeup, we realize that Crooks' power is going to be pull side a lot. Like a lot of guys, you almost got to be thinking to yourself, be late. Like, be late on it. See if you can hit a hard foul ball down the left field line. Oftentimes, that'll straighten you out.
Mason Wynn at third, Fermin at first. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Runner at first goes and fouled away. Crooks had to protect. Cardinals with a handful of 2-strike hits in the inning. You'd love to say we got Rondell right where we want him, but he's had the best of Jimmy Crooks so far tonight. Again, the 1-2. Was ready for the fastball. Herrera and Burleson double to start the inning. Walker with a single on an 0-2 pitch. After Church popped out, Mason Wynn with a double off the pitcher's body, then Fermin a single. Now 1-2 for Crooks. Brian Torres has grabbed a bat. He is ready to pinch hit. Runner goes. Swing and a miss. Crooks chases the changeup. It was helmet high. And that's the second out. So it'll be Brian Torres. The Cardinals have the tying run, a tantalizing 90 feet away. We trail by a run. However, the good news is, with this long inning, these big boppers are going to come right back in the 9th inning for St. Louis. These guys just make things so interesting.
Well, again, it's a young team. They're relentless. They're going to fight. Every single one of them has something to prove at this level, whether it be to themselves, to the organization, to the league. Like, they're trying to put it all together, and they're continuing to just have a great approach throughout this game. Offense, as we know, was very hard to come by early in this one, but able to get to this bullpen, able to get to Painter a bit in that 6th inning.
Well, we need a hit or a Phillies mistake. Torres has done good work in a pinch. And he sees that changeup. And a challenge.
Pitch was called a strike. Batter's challenging.
Pitch was called a strike. Torres will go to ABS. And he's right. Clearly a ball. Brian 3 for 11 as a pinch hitter. Team high 4 RBIs. He has 4 of the Cardinals' 6 pinch hit RBIs this year. So right man, right time.
Well, back-to-back changeup. Saw him yesterday having that bat. 3 of them in a row ended up getting him to swing and miss.
1 ball, 1 strike. A hush at Busch Stadium. A hit potentially gets you the lead. If that's the case, the Cardinals have Riley O'Brien ready. They also have Justin Brule set for the 9th if we don't tie it or take the lead. 2 balls and a strike. And right now, he could tell the Cardinals hitters that pitch is coming, and they're still going to have trouble. That's how good that pitch has been.
They're having a tough time with it for sure. Right now for Torres, shorten up, barrel to it, playing a little pepper here with 2 strikes.
Swing, fly ball center, but it's going to be caught. And the Cardinals settle for 3 in the 8th. They send 8 to the plate in the biggest game of the year to this point. Of course, it's a 1-run affair.
Birdie.
Hey, welcome back. 6-5 Phillies over Cardinals in the top of the 9th. Mark Sweeney and I will be here for the game show presented by Car Shield after the last out. All right, so another hopeful comeback here. A wild 8th inning, and the top of the order once again doing damage.
Yeah, sets up perfectly. Top of the order starts the bottom of the 9th. You got to put up a 0 here to get in that situation.
All right, I like like it. Chip, what do you think?
That would be a great idea. Bryson Stott's going to lead off for the Phillies. Their 2, 3, 4 batters are coming up. Justin Brule leads things off and almost hits Stott with a sweeper. 1 ball, no strikes. Add-on runs for the Phillies in the 7th and 8th. Really hurt. Cardinals got 3 in their half of the 8th to make it 6-5. The good news is if Brule can put up a 0, you've got the top of the order lurking. And somebody at last has finally stood atop the bullpen mound for the Phillies. A base hit. So Stott has his second hit. Lefty, lefty. Well, the lefty-lefty stuff has not bothered the Phillies in this game tonight.
No, it is definitely not. They've been staying on pitches very well. This time it's the sinker from Brule. Inside out swing. A ground ball right at somebody. That would be nice.
Jonathan Bolin is getting ready. Cardinals have Ryan Stanek getting loose just in case, as Bryce Harper almost got hit. He's walked twice, he struck out, and he's hit into a double play. He was also doubled off in the first inning on a line drive. Buckled there, good pitch. 1 ball, 1 strike. As we said earlier, it wouldn't be a Cardinal game unless it was a 1-run game. They battled back to make things interesting with a fierce 8th inning. It's even now at 8 apiece. Harper took a shot at left and fouled that away. The Cardinals have played 36 1-run games. They've won 20 of them. Philadelphia is 20-11 this year in 1-run games.
Well, right now with Harper, if you're going to go back to that sweeper, got to make sure it's away. Don't make a mistake middle in.
Popped him up. Fermin, who moved in to play third base, camps out and squeezes that. Harper an 0 for tonight. 1 out. Double play in order. If you can get Arise to do that, he's hitting at 2 of them tonight. Arise 0 for 4. If it's the end of the line for Rondell tonight, 3 runs on 6 hits. Runner at first goes, and the ball bounced to third. That keeps the Phillies out of the double play. And Arise at 0 for. Runner at second, 2 outs, and Brandon Marsh next. So this might be your game here. You've got Marsh. If you fall behind, you could put him at first and then bring Stanek on to go to Hill or go head to head with Hill. But remember, the Phillies have Trey Turner, JT Realmuto lurking on their bench. If they decide to go with a more experienced hitter, we'll see how it plays out. Marsh tonight has reached twice and scored twice. Phillies 3 for 10 with runners in scoring position, says our great stat man Ricky Doherty. Redbirds will have the top of the order in the 9th with a chance to walk off at home. So Brule way ahead of Marsh. That is curling foul, but out of reach of Mr. Fermin.
I like the same pitch here, that sweeper, but off the plate away. Those first couple of takes told you he was looking for that breaking ball early. I think you know now he's going to be in protect mode. Can you start one on the outer half and get him to swing and miss, or even roll it over?
0-2. He thought about swinging. Cardinals tried to bail out Hunter Dobbins. Gastelum, an inning and a third of perfect relief. Caleb Ferguson, Graceffo, now Brule. As he readies the 1-2 pitch. Swing and a miss. So Brule works around a leadoff hit. Marsh down on strikes for the third time. And here we go. A chance to walk it off in the bottom of the ninth inning. The guys you want up are coming up. Weatherholt, Herrera, Burleson, and hopefully more. We got a one-run game against the Phillies at Busch in the ninth. Well, partner, what a wild one tonight in St. Louis. The Cardinals have given themselves a chance with 3 outs left in game one.
That's all you can ask, right? Offense was hard to come by early. They played 2 in the 6th, 3 in the 8th. Couple of big knocks. Nice day again for Alec Burleson as the Cardinals looking to walk it off here, at least tie things. Jonathan Bolin, he's going to be your Chevy call to the bullpen. Look at the numbers. He's been very good, been even better as of late.
And he can bring it. He throws hard, as you see. A former Royal. The Phillies traded Matt Strahm to Kansas City in December to bring Bolin to Philadelphia. Starts with J.J. Weatherholt, yesterday's hitting hero. Get somebody on and see what happens. Keep in mind, Bolin, 44 games, is 0 for 3 in save opportunities. He's got the toughest part of the Cardinals lineup greeting him in the ninth. Good cut, fouled back, 2 balls and a strike. This guy's only given up 4 hits in his last 15 games. Bolin. JJ will take a walk. He's ahead in the count. Not anymore. It's 2-2.
Well, not much you're going to be able to do with that. JJ is going to challenge this.
And ABS powered by T-Mobile. Let's see. It is barely a strike. So the Cardinals are out of challenges in the ninth inning. Close call. 2 balls, 2 strikes.
Well, you could definitely see Bolin going right back out there and then seeing JJ go left center gap. He's got big time power that direction, especially if he can weigh back on it.
He couldn't. Swing and a miss. And there's the first out in the Cardinals' ninth. 1 away. Here's Herrera. He's doubled his last 2 times. And again, Brad, it's the changeup.
Yeah, this is one of those pitches. Cardinals have struggled against the changeup today, and that's one of those odd ones coming into you. I don't think that's where Bolin wanted it. He wanted it down and away, but the fact that it was down under the zone got the swing and miss.
Herrera's red hot. Let's see if he can start a 1-out rally. A strike. Back-to-back right-handed relievers for the Phillies, but Bolin a much hotter arsenal. Oh, and 2. The 1-2 pitch to center, and Crawford is there, and it's up to Burley to keep the game alive for the Cardinals. He's reached base 3 times. He's knocked in 3 runs. Burleson, then Walker. Early 81 RBIs, a career high. Swing and a shot hammered to right, but the Phillies survive. 6-5 is your final. First save for Bolin, and Don Mattingly, with no options in his bullpen, steals a one-run win in the series opener.
Well, the Cardinals were able to battle back in this ball game, make it a one-run game, but that was too much here, and it really all started, Chip, at the beginning. The 23-year-old Andrew Painter got it going here for the Phillies. His last couple of outings since being recalled from AAA have been great. He's your Budweiser player of the game. 5 1/3, 2 hits, 2 runs. He had a no-hitter going until that 6th inning, but the young man was dialed in. Good heat, good secondary stuff, and really kept the Cardinals guessing.
He picks up his 2nd win. Hunter Dobbins, the tough luck loser for the Cardinals, and Bolin picks up his first save. And the Phillies, on a night when they were very short-handed in the pitching department, win 6-5 with Sanchez and Wheeler lurking the rest of the way in the series. Plenty to talk about on the Cardinals post-game show. Mark Sweeney, Danny Wexelman will have that for you. Brad and I join you tomorrow for Game 2. Our coverage begins at 6 o'clock here in St. Louis. 6-5, Phillies win Game 1 of this big head-to-head series in St. Louis. Thank you for joining us from Baseball Heaven. We'll see you tomorrow night.